Hey, I'm Jeremy. This is Archery Universe. Thanks for joining us today. And today we're going to talk about a Ballista Bat reverse draw crossbow. The folks over at Ballista contacted me a few weeks back and asked me if I'd be willing to do a review on one of these. And I told them, of course I would. Send it to me and I'll see what I think. So today I've pulled this stuff out of the box. We're going to see how it all goes together, and then we're going to shoot it a few times and see just what the thoughts are on it. And as always, is it trash or treasure? I've seen a lot of reviews on it. They seem pretty good. I'm skeptical about just how good it's going to shoot, but let's see what it does. So this is the main apparatus here, and they've got the heavy work as far as all the important assembly is done for you, but you still have a couple of handles to put on, so we're going to put those on real quick, and then we're going to shoot it and see how it does. So what the heck is a Ballista Bat reverse draw crossbow? There you go, that's it. So we're going to, they did send us a red dot sight, so we're going to put that red dot sight on here and shoot a few arrows out of it, see how it does, and then give you some final thoughts on it. Let's see, a little safety stuff here. So this says, attention, always keep hands away from the power stroke, do not dry fire, and always make sure the bolt is correctly inserted and touches the string. So I read that, so let's cut that off there and get rid of it. So I will say, once again, this thing is 150 pounds, so it is not a toy. Just like any other crossbow or compound bow, or any other bow in general, you never want to dry fire it. If you dry fire it, odds are something's going to break and you might get hurt too. So there are some safety guidelines that they give us inside the owner's manual. Normally I'm not an instruction guy, but this was new to me, so I did go through and read their owner's manual and stuff, and so they do have some crossbow safety rules. I'm gonna hold that up to the camera, and if you're interested in those, you can pause that and maybe zoom into it. So I would suggest going over safety rules. Make sure you've read all the instructions before you attempt to put it together, shoot it, all that good stuff. I've been doing archery for a lot of years, and I still took the time, because this was new to me, to read the owner's manual and the instructions as unmanly as that can be. So one of the things to me that sets this thing apart is the retractable cocking mechanism. So you hold this thing in your shooting hand and you grab with 3 fingers and you pull till it clicks and let it back down, and it actually, so that is the first time I drew it, so you got to see me cock it for the first time. And so 150 pound it shoots, but it actually draws around 45 pounds from what I've seen tested. Just like with any conventional crossbows today, when you draw back, it actually engages the safety. Do not trust the safety. It's just like any other crossbow or any other handgun or anything else. You never trust the safety. So once this thing's cocked, we always want to keep it pointed in a safe direction, even if it's not loaded, even if the safety is on. So with that said, we're going to shoot a few and see just how well it works. Alright, so I have not shot a single shot out of it. We're actually up at about 5 or 6 yards right now, and we're going to shoot it just to see how it does. I have no idea where it's going to hit, but we're about to find out. So it's actually holding on the top center dot, so it's shooting low. So we're going to adjust the windage, adjust the elevation here. Okay, it's got clicks on it, so we're gonna go, we want to go up with it, so we're gonna click it around. Not sure how well I like that. The whole trick to here is getting comfortable with this thing. try again. It might help if I turn the light on. There you go. All right, took 2 shots to get it to hit the middle. All right, this time we'll shoot at the top dot. Now again, I'm only shooting about 5 yards here, so actually doesn't mean a whole lot right now, but safety works. A little bit left of the dot. All right, so we are not quite 20 yards, about 18 yards right here. That's where my table was already set up, so rather than move it, we're just going to shoot 18 yards instead of 20. So let's see how it groups at 20 yards. So you always want to make sure, just like with any crossbow, you always want to make sure that when you load that bolt, that you're keeping your fingers out of the string apparatus. So if you notice, I drop it in, lay my fingers on top, slide it back to the back all the way till it hits the string. It's important that it contacts the string or it'll be like a dry fire. It may jump off the half moon on the nock. So you always want to make sure your fingers on top, slide it all the way to the back till it contacts the string. I'm going to shoot the center dot. I have no idea where it's going to hit. Helps if the safety is off. Hit the dot to the left of that one. So we're not going to move it. I'm going to shoot 3. And then we'll go down and check it out. Safety off. Definitely helps having it sitting on the table rather than me holding it freehand. Right there with it. Again, we're laying the bolt on here. Fingertip slide it back till it hits the nock, hits the string. Safety off. We're ready to shoot. Not too bad. Let's see. We're going to video these with the with my phone. You can watch me walk to the target. Aiming here, you can see where he hit it. So aiming right here, shot just about 4 inches left and then an inch or 2 low. So we'll make an adjustment there and see how that does. So one thing about these nocks, if you look here, they are the same nocks I've used in the past where they have a switch. Push that back, turns the light off. Really easy to operate, doesn't take any special tools or anything. So I like the nocks. Again, good job, Ballista, because that's one of the most common things I've seen on the other videos was people in the comments was people requesting lighted nocks. So one of the things I see frequently about this bow or questions is people want to know, can you hunt with it? Well, I'm not sure yet. It certainly seems to have the accuracy to do it. My first thoughts, if I were going to just do it, it would be 20 yards or less. I wouldn't shoot. The instructions actually say that this is good out to 30 yards. Personally, it would be 20 yards or less. One of my biggest questions, typically when something this lightweight or this low of kinetic energy, I would suggest a small fixed blade broadhead. And looking at the vanes on these things, these stinger arrows sting arrows that they have, they're a .166 ID arrow, but they only have 2 small vanes on them, and I really think that's going to have a hard time stabilizing a broadhead. So I think you're going to have to find my opinion anyway, is that you're going to have to find a small expandable that opens easy, and then it probably has enough energy to do it. So I'm going to leave that answer for after I do the speed test and weigh these arrows and find out how fast they're shooting and just how much kinetic energy they have. Alright, let's see what we got now. Safety lock. Okay, on the right side of the dot. I'm curious about tuning it. I know I've just seen a few people talking about trying to shoot the fixed blade heads, and they were struggling with it. So I'm curious if there's sometimes timing or something like that. You can twist the cables and you can affect how an arrow flies on out of these crossbows. So I'm curious if there's some of that can be done to make it shoot a fixed blade head, or if you're just better off to shoot an expandable and let it fly. Those are stacked right together, right in the edge of the dot. So the accuracy is definitely there. Most likely, once hunting season comes in and I can shoot some does, I'll probably try to shoot a deer with this thing. I've got a couple of spots that I got feeders setting deer only 15 or 16 yards from the stands, so I'll probably give it a try, see if I can't shoot a deer with it. Safety's off. Center dot. Well, the arrow's rattled, so that's a pretty good sign. Let's turn that light off again. And then we're going to go pull, and I'll video these for you. Not too bad. Those three were almost touching. Two of them touching, one of them almost touching, right in the right hand side of the dot. So with that, I'm going to go inside and get the chronograph. So it'll be a few minutes for me. I'll be back. For you, it'll be just a second. Alright, so we are set up with the chronograph now. We're going to weigh a few arrows. I've got a couple of different things set up. I actually took one of the bolts that I've been shooting and put one of the stainless inserts in it because I think I'm going to need that for a hunting setup. So let's get a weight. It's 340 grains. And the chronograph is right there. I've actually shot one already at 236.6. So I'm going to shoot another one. That was with this 340 grain bolt. And 236.8. So 236.6 and 236.8, two shots with 340 grain bolt. 236.8. So now let's shoot a so this is the one I've been shooting. This is the one I've been shooting. This is 264 grains, and that's with the standard aluminum insert that comes shipped in and out of the package. Let's see how that does. $262.8. $262.8. I like the speed, but 260. That's why I shoot another one of those. $252.6. Let's see how that one does. It definitely groups well. 267.5. Now they actually send these practice bolts, and I can't even imagine that they would send them. These are only 153 grains. You can see 153 grains with the practice bolts that they send with them. We're gonna shoot it because they send it, but that's about as close as you can get to a dry fire, I think. 150 grain arrow with a 150 pound draw weight, so 1 grain per pound here. Definitely can notice the difference in speed. $328.6. Let's do that again. I'm going to go down and see how the practice bolt shot. Now, one thing for sure, shooting this bow at that light of weight is nothing like shooting a conventional or a vertical bow or even a full-size crossbow. The power stroke is so short on this, it doesn't have near the energy that a full-size crossbow does, even at 150 pounds. So it's not the same. The transfer of energy and all just doesn't get the vibration. Not that I'm saying it's okay to do this, but they send the product with it. They also sell the heavier arrows. For me, I'm going to shoot the heavier arrows all the time. I just don't think it's going to be good for the life of the string and the limbs and such by shooting those 150 grain bullets. Safety off. And 328.6. We'll do one more. All right, let's go see how those look. $326.9 that time. So this is a regular bullseye target. The circle's about 3 inches. Shooting all different weight arrows there, but these two have the aluminum inserts in them. This one is right where I would expect it to be. It's got the stainless insert and then the practice bolts. So now it's for the real question. Is this thing suitable for hunting? Well, let's just say these at 320, 6 feet per second, there's no way that's suitable to shoot anything other than maybe a squirrel or a rabbit. And you're probably going to lose those really quick shooting that fast. They're going to bury up in everything they hit. The aluminum insert arrow at 264 grains, the speed at 267 is certainly more appealing to me than the ones with the stainless inserts, but still at 250 grains, just not the type of weight that I want. So let's see what kind of kinetic energy that is. Let's see here. 267, and then 254 grains. That's 40 foot-pounds of kinetic energy. By standards for most people, that's okay to shoot a small whitetail. That's enough. But I would suggest a cut-on contact fixed blade head. And I still say I haven't shot broadheads with it yet, but I really feel like a fixed blade head is going to be a problem getting it to fly straight with these small vanes. The stainless insert, the arrow weighs 340 grains, and that's with a 100 grain head. And we had 200 and, let's see what that speed was, 236. So let's figure out our kinetic energy on that one. 40 grain arrow. .42 foot-pounds of kinetic energy. So we're still on the low end, but I feel like that heavier insert is going to make enough difference that, for me, if I'm going to try to shoot a deer with it, and I'm going to try to shoot a deer with it this fall, it's going to have to be with the stainless insert. Probably going to be with a 125 head too, to add another 25 grains to that weight. And then I think some of our small whitetails, I think I probably can even get a pass through if I shoot it right through the ribs. So, what the heck is a Ballista Bat reverse draw crossbow? Well, that's it. You've seen me shoot it. We've talked some about it off and on. The question that everybody wants to know is, what good is it? What do you use it for? Well, I have to say it's fun to shoot. It's entertaining. I like to shoot guns. I like to shoot bows. I like to just shoot in general. So, for me, it's another tool that I can take and shoot and enjoy myself with. And then everybody wants to know, can you hunt with it? Well, that's a loaded question. I would not take these practice bolts at 150 grains. I don't think I would shoot anything more than a rabbit with them. And then they don't have a broadhead on them, so I wouldn't even shoot a rabbit with them. They're just for practice. And then the Ballista Sting is their hunting arrow. Weighs 264 grains, I think it was, with the aluminum insert that it comes standard with. You can, however, buy a stainless insert to go in them, and that stainless insert with the 100 grain point, they end up weighing 340 grains. I'm thinking I'm going to try some 125 heads and get them up to 365, and then that should put me, I should end up with around 43 foot-pounds of kinetic energy. Probably only going to be shooting 235 feet per second, 232 feet per second, in that range. But my first deer I ever shot with a bow, I was shooting less than 200 feet per second. So speed is not everything, but you do have to have enough energy to punch through the side of the deer. So personally, I'm going to shoot it from a ground blind. I think it will perform better from the ground blind, shooting on flat ground, so that I can get a low entry hole, because you're probably not going to have an exit hole. If I can get something like a an iron wheel 2-blade 125 to fly straight, then I might could get a complete pass-through. That's for a future video to see. One thing that I would love to see them do, overall this is a good setup, the quality is there, I don't see any issues with the fit and finish, but I would love to see them do a 3-inch vane on these arrows. With only having 2 vanes, it really needs more to stabilize a broadhead. And I believe the hunting community, this bow would really meet that. It would meet the needs to really be called a hunting setup. It needs to have a 3-inch vane, at least a 3-inch vane, maybe a 3.5. But they are low profile for clearance. They're short. These are probably, they might call them 2-inch vanes, but that's not a 2-inch long vane. So. So Ballista, if you're looking for any input, make us an arrow with a 3-inch vane on it, and I think you'll see some better arrow flight for fixed blade broadheads, which is really what this bow needs. This bow needs a good, smaller diameter, cut on contact, fixed blade head, and inside 20 yards you might get some complete pass-through. So we're going to find out this fall. I'll probably end up putting some 3-inch vanes on these, and I'll probably end up shooting some fixed blade heads. Either way, I appreciate you tuning in. I do have a discount code. They were kind enough to give me a discount code of STRIKE5. That's STRIKE 5, the number 5, and that'll get you a 5% discount. These things range anywhere from $299 and up. That STRIKE5 gets you 5% off of anything you buy on their website, as far as I've seen. So I appreciate your support. I'm going to put a link down in the comments below to their website. It is an affiliate link. If you use that link, I will make a few pennies on it. And if you use the discount code, you'll save a few pennies. $299, that'll save you $15. So might cover your shipping, make the shipping free on. I really appreciate you watching. It means more than you could possibly know. And if you don't mind, go down and click that like button, subscribe button, and share it for your friends. It doesn't cost you a penny, but it really helps our channel out. God bless, shoot straight, and I'll see you next time.